Start your online store with Shopify, the e-commerce platform that comes with all the features to run, manage, and grow your business. All just for 20.
Figure looks like it gave. If you want clean sheets in the morning, you'd better skip this top 10. Simply put, these videos are simply too scary. Number 10. Look behind you. If the only friend you could make at the park was a demon ghost girl, would you still play along? Post it to the r/ghosts subreddit. Redditor MiserableAd1849 explains that the video she's posting is her neighbor's. She writes, their children were playing on a slide and they noted that some kind of face was showed behind their daughter and there weren't other children playing. The video shows a girl going down the slide. It even looks like she's being pushed. She lands at the bottom, knocking into her sister. We'll know. Everyone likes to bump into someone at the bottom of the slide. All's good, right? Look more closely at who appears at the top. A ghostly child's face pops up, curtained with dark hair, and the scary figure looks like it gave the girl a push down the slide. Then, mysteriously, the ghostly figure pulls away out of view, instead of taking her turn. The creepiest thing about the figure is its pallid coloring. It's dark out, so colors are not bright, but the other girls appear alive and vivid. Ghost Girl, on the other hand, her coloring is pale and dull. I think that girl might have a ghostly companion. Number 9. Shut the door. Social media influencers and content creators beware. Your next video might attract photobombs of the paranormal variety. Published to YouTube by Trendwave in June of 2019, the scary video shows that even ghosts can be gate crashers. A young woman is filming footage for her channel. As she's talking very nonchalantly to the door behind her swings shut with great force. But let's rewind back. Not only did the door slam, but something appears to have slammed it. Look closely at the top of the door frame, and you can see the cause. A creepy, transparent looking face peeks around the corner before pulling out of sight again, and then the door slams shut. A young woman approaches the door to see who or what was there, but she doesn't look alarmed or concerned, which makes us think she found nothing, but I'm sure you're alarmed. In fact, you might have just wet the bed. Number 8. Batty Poltergeist. Don't you hate it when you think you're alone, but you discover you're very much not at full volume? Published by Dark Ghost Paranormal in May of 2020, this abandoned house doesn't seem to be empty after all. After entering the attic, this Russian paranormal investigator comes across these creepy old-timey strollers with plastic baby dolls inside. This one appears to have black lips and eyes. In one room, the investigator sets up his camera when this happens. Something is shaking aggressively, almost like a washing machine. The shaking goes on for a while, then a shadow disturbs the red light in the next room before the light shuts off completely, like a breaker went off.
Hey, wanna play some video games? I know I do. I haven't seen the sun in years. So, let's play League of Legends. Sound familiar? It should. It's amazing. And it's free. You can afford that, right?
At the same time, the shaking stops. Later, from that same room, something is heard being thrown. It sounds like a rock or something small. The investigator soon enters the scene with his flashlight to adjust the camera. He ends up shooting film on his smartphone while lots of animal noises can be heard squeaking in the background, likely coming from these bats flying overhead in the next room.
Снимаю сейчас на смартфон, потому что все камеры стоят там.
These same bats will later come after him, flying straight at him like Dracula. Shortly after, the lights go out a second time and the investigator is talking. He stops short when he hears something. He turns and in the doorway you can clearly see a shadow fall. What is standing in that doorway?
Oops.
Perhaps it causes what happens next. Again while filming, the bats circling the ceiling. In the red room, something is thrown across the room. This sends the investigator running. He stops short when he hears something. He turns, and in the doorway you can clearly see a shadow fall. What is standing in that doorway?
Oops.
Perhaps it causes what happens next. Again, while filming, the bats circling the ceiling. In the red room, something is thrown across the room. This sends the investigator running out of there fast. He leaves the room but then returns for his equipment. Now that's true dedication. Would you be able to re-enter a room where an aggressive, angry ghost has made itself known? Number 7. Creepy Critter. That oil spill on the ground may not be what you think. Published to Thriller Tamisha in July of 2021. This creepy critter was caught on CCTV footage, at first blending into random splotches on the surrounding concrete and asphalt, but soon it pops up from its camouflage position and starts crawling, scuttling about. When it first appears on the scene, it bear crawls across the pavement before standing to thrash at a poster on the wall. After the poster is torn, it scurries off again. Zooming in on the creature reveals it's even creepier close up. The scary thing looks humanoid, but its eyes are glowing, its mouth is wide, and its face is not well defined. Do you know what this creepy critter might be? All we know is that it clearly doesn't look like the animated series. Treese, is anybody here an anime fan? Number 6. Who's in your back seat? You're sitting in the driver's seat of your car when you feel eyes on you from the back seat. YouTuber Dark Path Scary's video published in June of 2021 reveals whose eyes those are that are burning into the back of your head. In the video, a young man is taking a phone call and doesn't notice this demon child with glowing eyes glaring at him. It sits there silently, watching its victim with glowing, kohl-rimmed eyes. When he does finally notice, he leaps across the seat and out of the video, while the mysterious creature ducks out of view. This video serves as a reminder, the next time you don't feel alone in your car, look over your shoulder, because you may not be alone. Number 5. Britain's Area 51. The UK has its own version of Area 51, known as the Burlington Bunker. Atlas Obscura describes the 34-acre subterranean bunker. The mile-long bunker complex contains 60 miles of road and in its time was self-sustainable, fitted with a kitchen, cafeteria, hospital, offices, and much more, all below the ground. Needless to say today, it's the perfect place for an urban exploration adventure, which is exactly what the crew of Dark Arts TV set out on in this scary video. Published in November of 2020, the channel writes, "We explore above surface at highly sensitive sites before heading over 100 feet underground into Boxmine to find the infamous secret red door that leads into Burlington, Area 51 UK. The group attempted to explore the bunker the previous year but were stopped by security before they even entered. And yet they returned for more, and this time they wouldn't be disappointed. As they walk through the woods, a black hooded figure is seen lurking behind the fence.
Police say it's nothing to do with us anymore. We don't use this place. We're not underground. There's nothing to do with it.
He's visible for just a moment before walking off into the thick trees. The figure looks like it appears out of thin air. Is it security personnel yet again, a ghost? Or are they not alone on the premises? After entering underground, it's clear this place is not stable. A thick beam of wood is propping up the rock above, and in the background, a male whisper is heard.
down too.
On you, bro.
Yeah, on me, bro. Wow.
What it says is inaudible, and it's unclear if it's just one of the boys, but it's certainly creepy. Later, as they're climbing over the large chunks of cement and rocks, the camera is directed towards a dark tunnel to the right. There's a light glowing down there. It might be a flashlight, or it could be the light at the end of the tunnel. At one point, they find a Christmas tree, which was clearly set up for a party. It looks like a little fire was even pitched with a small makeshift brick fireplace. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, anyone? They continue on and find these strange brick people set up as roadblocks, or the unofficial guards of the bunker.
Roblox. Come on.
Roblox. It's gonna be down
Although they look quite harmless, they're actually pretty creepy. The group stops short when they hear something that sounds like rumbling. While they're talking, a whistle is also heard in the background.
Yeah. So you've got the throwing of bones and now you've got the throwing of bricks. Well done.
Hey,
Get in there. Get in.
They finally arrive at the infamous red door, and the strange alarm starts going off. It sounds like the alarm on a child's plaything. A thick teal smoke is then emitted. They think it might be harmless and devise to scare them, but decide it's not something they should be breathing in. They also start to feel lightheaded, and they can hear something behind the red doors. They believe it could be dogs.
Dude, that's mad trippy though.
Starting an online store is easier than you think. Let me show you how to quickly open one with Shopify.
No, that definitely sounds like a dog.
Yeah, dogs.
Whether dogs have been sicked on them or not, they should probably think about getting out of there before they inhale too much of this mysterious gas. Number 4. Poltergeist Party. Lainey and Ben's crazy haunted house doesn't hold back. Published to their YouTube channel in July of 2021, the following videos are sure to make you wet the bed. In the first video, Ben says he made it home before Lainey and came upon this.
And I've come into this. Smash mug.
The cupboard is open and a mug is smashed on the kitchen floor. The poltergeists that haunt the place must have had one of their signature parties. Ben notes he has CCTV cameras set up in his home, so they can quickly check out what happened. And here's what happened. The cupboard slings open and a mug launches out, smashing to pieces on the floor and making quite a racket. The poltergeists in Lainey and Ben's house are some of the most active we've ever seen. What do you think these mysterious spirits are up to? Whatever it is, as YouTuber Sue Smith suggested, it's probably time to invest in some shatterproof mugs. Number 3. Possessed Lady. What would you think if someone ran at you backwards? Published in July of 2021, this lady in red is about to take Scary to a whole other level. Wandering down the street with her arms spread wide, the woman is wailing at the sky. She walks slowly forward but seems to have attracted a crowd, who all enter the street to see what's going on. That's when she starts running at them, backwards and with her arms still spread wide. The image is beyond creepy. Needless to say, this alarms every one of the onlookers in her path, who all run away as fast as they can. But the wailing lady doesn't capture anyone. Instead, she collapses backwards on the ground. Is this woman out of her mind? Is she possessed? Or is this some kind of joke? All I know is she definitely needs some assistance. Number 2. Middle of Nowhere Mansion. This abandoned mansion, once owned by millionaires, is plopped right in the middle of nowhere. The perfect place for ritualists to set up shop. Published to YouTube by Steve Ronan in February of 2021. This scary video explores the site of these rituals. Before heading inside, Steve gets some crazy vibes from this abandoned car parked out front. Covered in snow, the car looks as though it's been in an accident. Its hood is bent out of shape. Upon entering the place, they see it's been torn apart, the homeowner's property scattered across the floor. They come across an old suitcase with a rose pink gown inside alongside some worn slippers. Although the gown looks new, the slippers look very old, judging by their style and their use. Atop the fireplace is a nativity scene. The fireplace itself appears to be a false fireplace without a chimney, purely there for decoration. On a rocking chair in another room is a mysterious book called The World's Last Mysteries. On the cover is an Aztec sunstone. Steve says he's going to look for this book as it might lead him to new places to explore. And finally, in the bedroom, the star of the show, a ritualistic symbol is painted into the floor.
I found this satanic symbol that everyone keeps talking about here. Here, there used to be like candles and a bunch of weird artifacts and even like mouse and rats and animals.
Steve says there were once candles, creepy artifacts, and rats and other animals surrounding this symbol, but now stuff is piled over top of it, and the room looks like it's been cleaned up, but the symbol still lingers here. Perhaps no one has been able to get rid of it, no matter how hard they tried. I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made it this far, why not like this video and hit subscribe in the next 5 seconds? Because I upload 4 new scary videos every week. If you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. Number 1. Open and shut case. While it's scary enough to capture paranormal footage on video while you're not in the room, it's even scarier when it happens right in front of you. Published to YouTube in September of 2015, Michael D. McGee writes, I was sitting at my computer when I caught the door opening and closing out of the corner of my eye. It kept starting and stopping, so when I finally got my camera, this is what I captured.
Just watch it. There it goes. This is what I was doing. It's just gone back and forth, back and forth.
At the beginning of the video, just as Michael said, the door is opening and closing in a very strange manner. It doesn't slam shut like a draft has pushed it closed. Watch right before the door opens. A shadow appears briefly on the cardboard box to the left.
This is what I was doing. It's just gone back and forth, back and forth.
Well, you might think it's Michael's shadow. He's holding the camera very still, so we can't imagine he's the one who casted it. Could it be that he's not alone? Michael enters the room to investigate. There's no one under the bed or visible in the room, but there does appear to be a handprint smudged on the closet mirror. He looks through the wardrobe and everything else but finds nothing. There are no windows open in the room either, which confirms the draft is unlikely. Michael tells the spirit in the room that it's unwelcome. Maybe the spirit is thinking the same of him. Are you sure you're brave enough to watch this list? Because these scary videos are too scary to watch at all.
Albion Online is a sandbox MMORPG in which you write your own story instead of following a laid out.
The door's moving.
Such a terrifying day. Are you sure you're brave enough to watch this list? Because these scary videos are too scary to watch at all. Number 10. Invisible Playmate. Everyone has an imaginary friend as a child, but sometimes that friend is not a figment of one's imagination. Posted on TikTok, this creepy clip shows an imaginary friend come to life. A police officer finds a little girl named Ava in the dark, playing around on a swing set. She appears to be alone. He radios back to base saying that he's located the missing girl. Well, he can safely assume that he's found her. He'll also soon discover why she went missing in the first place. The girl was out pailing around with her friend Juliana, and Juliana's not done playing. She suddenly swings back and forth on the swing set beside the little girl, only there's no one there at all.
What's your name? Eva? Officer Andy Base, I think I've located the missing girl. What are you doing out here? Juliana? Oh my goodness.
Is this just a trick of the wind, or did little Ava manage to conjure up a real imaginary friend? My guess is this is something sinister and truly paranormal. I think it's time to call the exorcist.
Juliana? Oh my goodness. Get over here now. Come with me.
Number 9. Mysterious UAP. Look up at the night sky, they said. It'll calm you, they said. More than likely, it will stoke your greatest fears. Published to YouTube in July of 2021 by Strange Activities. This scary video shows an unidentified aerial phenomenon in the night sky. From the sound of the footage, it seems like a crowd has gathered to look up at this strange sighting. The creepy UFO features a series of red blinking lights, and it appears to be hovering directly above. Suddenly all the lights flash on, brighter and more numerous than before. Then one by one the lights disappear, and the night is black again. While you may not want to believe in alien UFOs, what other explanation could there be? I'm sticking with the first option. Number 8. Fire tornado. It's fire season again, and America's West Coast blazes have blasted onto the scene, with over 70 burning across the coast to date. In Oregon, where 2,000 have been forced to evacuate from their homes, the scary video has surfaced to reveal exactly why such drastic measures were taken. Posted to Twitter by NWS Medford in Oregon, the National Weather Service captured a fire tornado forming near Mount Shasta in California. These frightening, out-of-control flame-ups occur when ground winds encounter fire, whipping the flames into a tornado spiral of doom. In the video, smoke and flames can be seen rotating into just such a terrifying daredevil amongst fire trucks and other service vehicles. Horrifying and at the same time fascinating. Although evacuations remain in place as of this publication date, the blaze was being managed and contained. It's yet unclear what started the fire.
Play War Thunder now. Join millions of players across the globe in massive battles on tanks, aircraft, and helicopters in the most extensive vehicle combat game ever made. Take control over the battlefield in ground vehicles, rain down rocket volleys in helicopters, dogfight your enemies in aircraft, and bomb whatever is left into the dust. Play on more than 1,500 authentic military vehicles from early World War II to present day. Experience the transition from historic biplane fighters and iconic World War II tanks to supersonic jets and modern battle tanks fighting alongside attack helicopters. Upgrade your vehicles, customize their appearance, and level up your crew to become the best commander on the battlefield. Download War Thunder now for free on warthunder.com, your PS4 or Xbox.
Number 7. Scary Hospice Girl. A hospice in Korea becomes a haunted house of horrors. In this scary video, too scary to watch at all. Published to YouTube by D-Dog Michael in May of 2021, Dochi heads to a hospice with a past, one supposedly haunted by hospice girls. Doshi says that he's brought a sketchbook to draw any hospice girl that he sees.
이것이 무엇이냐? 스케치북인데.
Before he even enters, he hears a sound that gives him pause.
설마 방금 들었습니까? 앞에서 무엇이 톡톡톡 소리 났었는데.
but he continues in his exploration. Once inside, he sees beyond into a back courtroom. He believes there's something back there. He delves further into the abandoned hospice and finds his way to one of the hospice rooms where he hears a faint noise.
응? 뭔 소리야? 뭔 소리야?
Moments after, while staring at the reflection of the window, a creepy white figure appears to walk past, either outside or worse, inside and reflected in the glass. He later hears footsteps. Not long after, he says he feels like someone's following right behind him.
와, 내 뒤쪽에서 뭐 따라다닌 것 같아요.
And maybe there is, because a door slams shut, scaring the life out of us all.
여기가 근데 진짜 미로네.
He hears a couple more faint sounds.
뭔 소리? 와, 장난치나? 들리지?
And another loud one.
우와.
After which he finally sees something in the darkness.
저기 있다. 저기 있다, 저기 있다. 합쳐.
A figure standing down at the end of the hallway. He says he saw the ghost's face.
얼굴은 봤어. 젊은 여자는 아니었어.
And it wasn't a young woman, as the legends about this place suggest. At the end of this exploration, Dochi starts to draw the face that he saw. This is it. Do you see it too? I do. Number 6, shadow boxing. The worst things to see are always in your periphery. Published to YouTube in June of 2021, Nuzzy Futz writes, "Notice this from the corner of my eye while at work. The boxes and lines are automatically drawn in by the security software." The scary video shows a dark shadow being trailed by blurry fog. The security box follows this creepy image across the screen, tracing it all the way to the right as it drifts upwards and off screen again. While the security officer might hope that the mysterious figure is a figment of his imagination, the security camera doesn't lie. The camera tells us everything and nothing at all. But if I were that security guard, I'd start looking for a new job, because that place is definitely haunted. Number 5, Indian Baba. Wisdom does not always beget good. Published to YouTube in July of 2021, Om Vlogs describes the haunted location he's investigating in this video. He says that an old Baba, i.e. a wise old man in India, uses mysticism to solve people's problems here. One day he used mysticism not for good but for evil. He used it to control the most beautiful girl in the village, and days later, the pair of them were found passed away where the Baba once sat. Legend has it that their spirits continue to roam here and take the lives of anyone who dares to cross their path. This is where Om Vlogs dares to enter, right where the Baba sat. Getting there was in itself a frightening experience. As he is walking down a paved road, he hears something move behind him. Turning back to a tree, the brush is moving like something just disturbed it. It stops quickly when he turns to look, which suggests it wasn't the wind. Continuing on, he is standing in the road where he points out something further ahead in the darkness. It appears to be a figure wearing a red robe. It stands so still that you can't really tell if it's an animate object
वहाँ देखो कुत्ते भी आ गए हैं बहुत सारे फिर से ये भौंकने लग गए हैं
Later, the same mysterious tree branch brush that moved before is swinging back and forth much more vigorously. Is there a monkey in the tree, or is Baba throwing down some mysticism to distract us? Turning back to where the creepy red-robed being once stood, the figure is gone, but on the opposite side of the road appears a glowing light. It looks like a candle is the light on the ground in the darkness. As our friend is finally driving away from this haunted place, he views the red figure again on his vehicle's reversing camera. It is standing on the side of the road like before. He quickly gets out of the car to go investigate, but nothing is there but a pair of dogs, neither of whom seem the least bit disturbed by Baba. Are you disturbed? I certainly am, and you should be too. Number 4. Snowstorm Asylum. Don't fall through the ice of this abandoned asylum. Published to YouTube by Uncharted Travel in March of 2020. This scary video sees an urban explorer taking a solo journey straight into danger in the form of an abandoned insane asylum in Ontario, Canada. Even more challenging, his overnight winter stay occurred in below freezing temperatures during a snowstorm. Will he survive? Obviously yes, but let's see if he survives with his sanity intact. Dragging all his recording equipment through feet of snow, the explorer arrives at his destination. It immediately feels like somewhere you don't want to be at all. With a floor covered in ice, it's probably difficult to stay on your feet, especially when you have female spirits encouraging you to fall. You can hear a creepy disembodied voice do just that when our friend is looking at the bathtubs and washrooms at the beginning of the video. The voice sounds female. Later, he almost does fall, but the spirit doesn't quite get her wish yet.
Definitely the most put together we've seen of any of the floors. Oh, almost slipped.
As the explorer is descending some seriously icy stairs later in the video, he takes a nasty spill. It would be impossible not to with the amount of ice layering on these stairs.
Save time by going all the way down to the main floor. Just gotta be careful because these stairs are covered in ice and I'm wearing really small shoes. Oh, I just took a nasty spill down those stairs. Look at all that ice.
Turn your designs into profit with Printful. Place them on any of our products and sell.
Shortly after, as he walks around the main floor, a mysterious sigh is heard in the background.
This place does not look any more fun during the night than it did during the day.
A sigh that doesn't sound like it's coming from him. Maybe it came from whatever made this noise moments later as he's walking down a hallway. Although he comes to a halt at the sound, he continues fearlessly down to the end of the hallway. As he moves ahead, there is what appears to be footprints on the floor. Another big thump is heard as he continues his exploration, entering an office room.
I thought I just heard something over there. Oh man. This is really freaky now.
Seems like he's not alone. Either this place is haunted or someone is squatting here. Which is worse? Take your pick, and then...
This was all water and I got soaked. Oh my...
The cracking ice scared everyone for miles and miles around. He continues on and it doesn't stop. Something falls out of sight again, and then again he cracks through the ice.
Hello?
He takes a deep breath in as he turns the corner, only to find no one there. As he's about to wrap his night up and head to his tent, his flashlight goes out. He's literally in pitch black darkness, and that's when he hears a sound again.
Flashlight just went out. Please, come on. I don't like this. What was that?
He somehow makes his way through the gauntlet of the ice using just the light from his camera. Everything around him looks like it could be a figure, ready to pounce, especially whatever this is as he climbs the stairs.
sorry, but the only light that I have is this flickery headset of mine to get me home. Good thing we're almost at the end of this tunnel. I swear I did not plan this. My flashlight is legitimately dead, as you can see.
Looks all too spooky, like a person or a ghost standing in a robe. What is it? Just ice? Or do we finally have an answer to what's been making all the racket? Number 3, Midnight Walker. Security camera footage often reveals that the living aren't the only ones to secure ourselves against. Published to YouTube by Rent Life in July of 2021, this scary video shows a ghostly figure floating in the air at night, captured in a driveway. A terrible scratching noise is heard on the footage before this thing appears. The foggy figure even seems to trigger an exterior light, brightening the scene and revealing this nightmare floating past. He looks like a robbed Grim Reaper. The thing soon evaporates as mysteriously as it materialized. Would you like to take a stroll with this Midnight Walker? Before you answer, consider where his final destination may be. Number 2, Click Clack. It's hard to tell if an abandoned place is really abandoned, especially when it's this noisy. Published in May of 2021 to YouTube by a Japanese YouTuber whose username translates to Lemonade Shop in Omawide. This video was taken in what appears to be an abandoned restaurant. As he's exploring the place, the camera is directed at a stairwell when this sound is heard. While water does seem to be dripping in the background, the sound is louder and more unusual. The explorer moves down to the basement where more noise is heard, this time even more pronounced. It makes him jump, swinging his camera around to try and catch whatever is in his midst. When he's in the kitchen, yet another creepy sound gives him pause. But he continues on without too much worry. Again, while near a staircase, continued sound is heard, almost like something is being tapped, not rhythmically but randomly. Although he spends a good deal of time searching for the source of the noise, he never does find it. Is the restaurant just settling into its old school foundation, or is something unseen having a laugh at this urban explorer's expense? I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made it this far, why not like this video and hit subscribe in the next 5 seconds? Because I upload 4 new scary videos every week. If you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. Number 1, Reawakening. Everyone in a morgue has passed away except the coroner. That's the rule, but there's usually an exception to any rule. This creepy image, published to YouTube by Terra5, reveals that exception. A woman is laid out on the autopsy table, ready to be examined, only she hasn't quite passed away yet. She is seen clearly trying to rise up while the coroner, scared out of his mind, jumps back from the table in shock. The source and origin of this photo is unknown, but it wouldn't be the first time someone was prematurely delivered to the morgue. In 2014, a woman in Poland awoke at a morgue after 11 hours in cold storage. She was delivered there after her niece called a doctor because she wasn't breathing, and the doctor couldn't find a pulse. After rising, we assume from a deep slumber, she was sent home to warm up with a bowl of soup. And in 2020, a woman in the United States was found unresponsive in her Michigan home. After paramedics tried to revive her, she was sent to a funeral home and spent 2 hours in a body bag before she was discovered breathing with her eyes open. This happens much more frequently than one might have guessed, but is this woman another such case? Her horror story is a mystery. Prepare yourself for some seriously scary stuff. These are the top 10 scary videos that you would regret not watching.
Starting an online store is easier than you think. Let me show you how to quickly open one with Shopify.
I'm not safe here. I feel like I'm being watched. There's eyes on me.
Hello everyone, my name is Sir Spooks, and today we'll take a look at the Paranormal Paranoids, as I want to update you guys on all of the crazy things that have happened since last time. A few weeks ago I put up a video on the ongoing case of the Paranormal Paranoids. Multiple comments on the video mentioned that it might be an ARG, which is definitely a theory I'm leaning more towards. We'll be looking more into that later in the video. Since the last time, more clips have been published from the mysterious Twitter account Noir, and Jess the Paranoid has discovered more episodes from the original series. In the last video, we discussed the disappearance of a ghost hunting YouTube crew known as the Paranormal Paranoids. Only one episode of the show was public at that time, which was the Mary Talbot episode, which took place in a supposedly haunted forest, and featured an eerie apparition at the spot where a woman had committed suicide several years prior. Since that video, people have come up with several theories, many of which consist of the possibility of this being an ARG, an alternate reality game. I also believe this could be the case. An ARG uses the real world as a platform to convey a usually highly cryptic and puzzling story, told through multiple media platforms. It uses its audience, you, as a piece of the story, because your response to the story and your theories can ultimately change the course of the plot. Nevertheless, even if this turned out to be an ARG, that doesn't take away from the fact that this is an intriguing and disturbing mystery. So, let's take a look at how this story has evolved since my last video on the subject. Much of the same has been going on Twitter, with the Twitter user Noir sending cryptic tweets to Jess the Paranoid. However, the big question that still lingers is, who is Noir? Figuring out how this mysterious person obtained these very personal pieces of footage is also of importance to solving this puzzle. But before we go deep into theories, let's first check out the most recently discovered episodes of the Paranormal Paranoids. Jess the Paranoid writes on Twitter that she used a toothpaste method for repairing the old CDs that she found in the box of memorabilia, which apparently worked. Following the Mary Talbot video, the next episode is titled Prison Episode and showcases the Paranormal Paranoids as they investigate an unknown prison that looks quite abandoned. Riley provides a vague description of the location's history, simply saying that riots, murders, and alleged hauntings all took place there. Very early on, something creepy happens, but it's something that most people probably didn't notice. At about 3 minutes into the video, letters are scrawled onto a dusty mirror, and at first glance, this isn't all that special. But if you're paying attention, you'll notice that the name Mia is written on it. Mia, of course, being the name of Riley's sister. And if that wasn't enough, only a few seconds later, a strange sound is heard.
David, this out. We got letters. Letters. What was that?
Let's find out.
No.
No.
You can find out. That's fine.
They come from over here?
Yeah, it's like behind that wall.
Holy shit, what's this?
What do you think was back there? What was that?
It almost sounds like someone knocking on a pipe or some sort of metal plate. Later on in the investigation, Riley starts to act quite nervous, as if something else is on her mind. Something is troubling her.
So we're about to enter solitary. This was the original solitary confinement. For a while in the 1930s, they just threw in cots here and basically let the inmates have the run of this room over here. And then later it was used as overflow.
10 minutes later, a handrail seemingly moves on its own, making some noise. It's unclear afterwards whether it really did move by itself or if they moved it by accident. Only a minute later, Riley suddenly stops and looks scared.
Jesus.
What?
Don't you feel that?
No. You feel what?
Cold. Holy shit. Riley, what? What?
She feels cold, and her breath is suddenly visible after she says it, which is probably what the crew reacts to. It seems to me that her breath was not visible at any other point prior to this moment, making this incident extra creepy. The next episode takes place once again in the woods, but this time features a creepy shed with an even creepier backstory.
In the summer of 1982, the body of a 16-year-old boy was found in a shed in these woods. He'd taken a dull razor blade to both of his wrists. The body was already decomposing in the heat by the time they found it. There was no note. Once word got out, local kids started using the shed as a place to drink, smoke, or other stuff, until another body turned up. 17-year-old overdosed on pills, another suicide ruling. For the next few decades, until as recently as 1998, there have been 6 recorded deaths in the shed, all of which were suicides. Since then, locals refer to it simply as the suicide shed.
6 suicides in the same small shed. That certainly sets the stage for a terrifying episode. But as it turns out, this is the only episode where there seems to be no paranormal activity caught on video.
Want to know the best way to potentially make a big income online? It's by making lots of small incomes online. Hi, I'm Rachel Roffet, and I've discovered a method to create these little mini income streams that individually aren't life-changing, but when added up, they've allowed me to quit my job as a Walmart cashier and live the life of my dreams, generating a very healthy income each month.
In the final episode that is currently available, Riley explains the haunted history of the Lincoln Elementary School. She mentions that one morning the school was found completely filthy. It hadn't been cleaned over the weekend. So they went to the janitor's closet for supplies to clean the school before the children arrived. They found the janitor inside the closet. Every bone of his body was broken, and his mop was shoved so far down his throat that the strings were hanging out of his mouth. There was no sign of a struggle or forced entry. She goes on to tell the audience more about the legend of the janitor's supposed death and the mysterious things that happened in its wake. they proceed to enter the building, seemingly without permission. Not much happens to begin with, but it doesn't stay that way for long.
You just closed that, right?
That was already quite alarming, but the scares don't end there, as you'll soon see.
What was that? Riley, what was that? Riley, don't go out by yourself, Riley. Come on. Chill. Where did that come? I don't know.
I don't fucking know.
After witnessing this terrifying figure inside the building, they sprint out. Peter initially accuses David of setting the whole thing up, refusing to believe that it was a real paranormal encounter. David denies this. The two guys are then hyped to have caught such an event on tape. Riley seems especially shook by the incident. Was this figure the ghost of the janitor who supposedly haunts the school? Or was it, like Peter initially suggested, a prank set up by one of the group's members? Already in the very first video shared by the mysterious Noir, Riley mentions that she feels like she has an ability to sense things.
Oh, how did I get interested in ghosts? I got interested in I think I've always been really interested. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I can sense things, but I don't know, maybe everyone does.
It's a continuing theme throughout the videos, and something we'll look more into in a bit. This is most likely the first vlog she's ever done for her channel, and throughout Noir's periodically uploaded videos, we get a deeper insight into the mind and feelings of especially Riley, who seems to be the main focus of it all. Before that, however, we'll have to look more into the people closest to Riley to get a better understanding of the full case. In my last video, we shortly mentioned Riley's sister Mia, but since then, more relevant information has come to light. There's even a video, supposedly a vlog, from their old channel, specifically focusing on their relation to each other, called Riley Talks About Her Sister Mia.
Honestly, she's good. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, she just started, she's been dating this guy, Robert.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
She's dating
cool.
a guy. Wow, okay.
You know, my sister can get boys. You say this
No,
like
I just
such
thought,
surprise.
I just figure she doesn't really get out and meet people too much. So
She
this is
does.
like kind of new
Why
for
do you
her.
think that's not a thing that Mia does?
I don't know. She just, I feel like she plays things kind of close to the vest. I can't really tell what's going on with her.
Riley mentions how they've slowly drifted apart a bit since they started the channel. According to Riley, Mia probably wouldn't even have met her new boyfriend if it wasn't for them seeing each other less. What's weird is the fact that even though Mia is mentioned several times throughout the videos, we never actually see her. In one of the vlogs, Riley draws a creepy picture. There's an odd edit where we go from Riley's perspective, filming herself talking about a picture she drew, to suddenly having the perspective of her sister, Mia, instead. We don't see Mia directly though, as she's the one filming.
This is what I've been working on. I don't know, it's she's someone I keep having a dream about, and I don't even know really why I'm sharing it, but I don't know. It was a weird dream. It was I felt like trapped. And I just haven't had a dream like that in a while. But I don't know, I think it helped putting her to paper. Hey, Mia. I've been having a dream about this woman. I don't know. You can come see it. You can come closer. What are you doing?
What's odd is the way she operates the camera. She barges into the room only to then completely ignore the drawing and instead focus directly on Riley in an awkward, almost eerie silence. What's even more strange is that someone edited the two separate clips, Riley's vlog and Mia's odd interruption, into one video. That could easily have been done by the person having the video camera in the end, if we assume that everything was filmed on the same device. Continuing with this specific vlog, Riley draws a creepy picture. We learn more about her thoughts, feelings, and her supposed gift, if you can call it that. Riley shows us a drawing of a disturbing figure that's apparently recurring in her dream. She seems visibly shaken and looks as if she's choking up a bit just talking about it. In the aforementioned video, the first Q&A, she mentions that she feels like she can sense things, and some comments on the various videos discuss whether she might have the sight. In the video, Riley talks about the man in the window. Riley mentions how she's been having weird dreams all the way back to at least when she was 13. Some of the dreams she's been having seems to be coming true. She talks about the recurring dream of the man in the window, that she feels trapped and watched. Could this dream be an indication of her own end? In the very latest video, titled Riley's Last Message, she also mentions that she feels unsafe and as if she's being watched, just like in the recurring dream, only to then immediately get a disturbing confirmation on all accounts. She's trapped in her own home, being stalked by someone or something.
I'm not safe here. I feel like I'm being watched. There's eyes on me. I'm so scared.
Shockingly, everything takes an unexpected turn in this newly uploaded video. What earlier seemed like something that could have potentially be explained by natural means, what with the new information slowly being released, this video functions as a curveball that completely destroys some theories, while creating many new ones. While this video potentially explains the disappearance of Riley, it mostly seems to create many new questions. Who or what was with Riley that night? And how is the mysterious Noir also in possession of this clip? As mentioned earlier, it also somehow seemed like Riley knew something like this was going to happen. She'd sensed it beforehand, and even mentioned it multiple times throughout the different videos. In the video, Riley draws a creepy picture. It's clear to see where she got the inspiration from, her dream of a future event. This isn't the only event that she loosely predicted. In the aforementioned video, Riley talks about the man in the window. She also mentions that she's seen places like the school and prison they've investigated, way before they even went there. Whether it's just a case of extreme deja vu is of course up to debate, but we see glimpses in other videos where she seems unnaturally shocked by the otherwise normal circumstances. An example of this could be the prison episode, where she suddenly stops and gets anxious at seemingly nothing. Maybe she recognized the place from her own dreams. She talks about feeling trapped and watched in multiple videos, which looks to be the way her life possibly ends. It's ironic really that she's always had this dream of the man in the window watching her, only for all of us to continually follow the case through her seemingly private videos, also watching her. A short citation from the video Riley and Peter talk about Shelby Oaks sums it up really well.
Oh, I'm scared of the dark. Let's put me in a dark room. This is like...
Well, if things
we
are...
all, like
if
that
these
janitor
things are
shit.
really attracted to you, then why not catch it on camera? Why not show it to the world? Why not? It's gonna happen regardless.
What? I mean, not necessarily.
This specific video is one of the latest and seems to be uploaded against Riley's will. Even though the video Riley and Peter talk about Shelby Oaks is uploaded a couple of days after Riley talks about the man in the window, it seems like the actual footage is from a few minutes earlier in the same conversation. Peter doesn't know about her night terrors yet, and he learns about them in more detail, just as we do.
Every dream just felt like I was trapped, and I think I maybe feel things in a way other people don't. I think
Okay.
stuff might be attracted to me, and that's why we're capturing things.
So
I think I could hurt you guys.
Despite Riley's best efforts to explain how she feels, Peter continually insists on going through with their investigations, even though Mia is extremely uncomfortable about it. Peter mentions multiple times how it's their duty, their actual purpose on Earth, to show their revealing footage. The video ends with Peter convincing Riley to take one last trip, the trip to Shelby Oaks, before taking a break from it all. As mentioned before, there's more than one mystery going on at once. There's the main question of how and where the paranormal paranoids went, as they completely disappeared from the internet. But then there's also the question as to who's sharing these otherwise vanished videos. Most clues point towards the people who were actually supposed to be the nearest and dearest friend to the group leader, Riley. There's loosely based evidence to support that the perpetrator could be David, the silent camera guy who most likely edited most of the footage in the first place. It would be an easy assumption to make. the classic trope of the shy guy getting too infatuated with a beautiful girl. As earlier said, however, this is just speculation, and is primarily based on the camera work, specifically the many close-ups of Riley's face, even when the group is discussing other things. Furthermore, it wouldn't be hard to imagine how the camera guy got his hands on all the footage. On the other hand, the perpetrator could just as well be Mia, the, for us at least, faceless mysterious sister who often pops up in discussion. The few things we know about her seems to indicate that the relationship between her and her sister is slowly deteriorating. And why has the mysterious Noir made a conscious decision to not include her in any of the uploaded clips? The only time she's actually been in a clip, she was acting